I did want to kind of jump back to where you're talking about editing that first daily V, and you saw the content was kind of jumbled, and you ended up shooting some extra B-roll to add some fluff to it. And one thing that Dania said to me when I was talking to her was just like the storytelling chops that you need to work there to take a daily V where there's not much structure to it and find and pull a story out of that. It's like, what's kind of your workflow when it comes to editing a daily V to find that story and piece it all together?
Yeah, and it's basically when I got that first folder, and when I soon realized, soon after that, each folder, most days don't have a story. Most days don't start with Gary saying like, "What's up, vlog? Like this is today, and this is what we're doing." It's just like it's like random meetings and catching hot moments. So there is no story typically when you're going in. Um, there's more of a cadence now. We're filming so much that I can find certain themes that he's talking about throughout the day, and that's kind of how I build a quote unquote story. But my workflow, it's different now just because I'm primarily filming right now since Gary's been back from vacation in this fourth quarter. So I know like all the content that's coming in, and I'm trying to make sure like, hey Gary, can you talk to the camera? Like we've been telling him a little bit more like, hey, we're timely in the vlogs. Like I'm like I want you to talk to them more. I want it to seem like more real time because it is. So I do get a little story out of that. Hey, here's where like this is the recap. This is the beginning. So there is some sustenance there. But like true like workflow, like I'm putting the entire all the footage on my timeline, whether that's 3 hours or 9 hours. I'm putting all of it, and then my first step is I'm blocking off. Basically, I'm color coding like almost chunks of the day. I'll be like, the morning keynote, and then like that's like red, and then like the drive to the airport is in green, and then at the airport is yellow, and then land in Boston is this, and then so basically I've blocked it out, so I know there's like in my head now I have chapters. So I'll have like 6 blocks, and that's already in my head. Is just like it's organizing it for me, and then I go in, and then I'll start basically lifting up hot moments. Like I'll start in the first one, like at the keynote, like what were the best moments there, and I'll push those up to another layer, and then by the end of that, I'll have all these highlights of when Gary said something, whether it was a super dope moment that you'd see on Instagram, or it was a super raw moment that was funny, like him razzing DRock. So now I have basically like all the sustenance of what this vlog will become, and then I like to essentially copy those hot moments, um, basically in time order, and just start building from there, adding B-roll and adding past content like throwback content because you might recall something. That's kind of essentially a lot of the times how it formulates.
So, like, how long then would you say it takes to edit just one 12-minute episode or so of Daily V?
Um, it's funny, like if I walked in tomorrow and Sanan's like, "Hey, you're not filming. Can we roll out a daily beat for tomorrow?" I'd be like, "Yeah." Like, I think I don't know. I feel really strong when it comes to vlog building, and I think you can give me 600 gigs of content. That's kind of like how I'll describe it. A lot of it is like I'll see the folder, and the first thing I see is like how big that folder is, and I'll know, is this going to be a hard edit? Is there a lot of footage in there? And even vice versa, like it has 50 gigs, and I'm like, man, is this vlog? um, but basically, like I could turn over something that I would consider good and healthy, um, within, I don't know, like 6 hours, like really like push through the content. But I think a healthy daily V, like on average, is you're putting close to 10 to 12 hours of like really thoughtful energy into it, I would say.
That's wild. And then were you
Yeah.
involved in the Dubai vlog at all?
Yeah, definitely. I I it was like my, I don't know, 12th daily V or something. I was pretty fresh into my career on the team, and DRock got back from Dubai, and then put the footage on the server, and then I don't know how they scheduled, because we have it so structured now through like Asana of like what like videos going out. But basically, I knew that my next vlog I had to make was Dubai, and then like I said, like I put all the footage on my timeline, and it was laughable. It was like literally like 16 hours of content, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Dear," I was like, "DRock," and I'm not like that close to him, but I'm like jamming with him. I'm like, "Bro, it's like," I'm like, "You were filming a lot." Like, I'm like, "You really didn't sleep." Like, it was just like that's a lot of, because they were only there for like a day. So I'm like, "This is crazy." And while I'm talking to him that morning, I was like, "What if I just control I hit Control M, which is basically to render out your sequence, And I was like, what if I just control M it and we just call it a day? And he's like, cool. And I was like, I'm like, no, no, he's like, no, he's like, we've been thinking about doing like, like a raw vlog. And I was like, well, I'm like, we could do it. I'm like, that'd be kind of, I'm honestly, I'm like, this idea is really cool. Like the whole, like an actual raw, like just behind the scenes. And that's honestly how the Dubai vlog came to be.